Welcome back, Sentinels. Welcome back. Another episode of Black Father Sentinel, where we are changing the narrative of how fathers are depicted as well as discussed in today's society. Back with another video for you all. But before we jump into that video, let's make sure we take care of all our YouTube stuff. So I need you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Make sure you like if you haven't liked already. And be sure to leave a comment at the end of the video. I love to engage with you all. And last but not least, make sure that we're sharing this video, okay? Now that that's all out the way, let's jump right into this video. So I entitled this video, "To Whoop or Not to Whoop?" That is the question. All right. So listen, I'm kidding, but I am serious. I'm curious to see, fathers, how are we disciplining our children nowadays, right? We all know how we grew up, and I got a funny story behind that. I give you my situation, or when I came about to my last whooping, right? So those who don't know what a whooping is getting a spanking with a belt, or for some of us, the nearest object that was around, right? Some of us got it kind of bad, just to be honest with you all. But for me, for the most part, it was just simply just a belt, right? I hate to put that out there, but hey, it is what it is. For those of you who know, you know. For those of you who don't know, you don't know, right? Hence the reason for this topic of discussion. So listen, it was one day I was growing up, right? The one thing I hate about whoopings is because you never actually knew when they took place. You knew when you did wrong because the parent let you know. In my instance, my mom let me know that, hey, as soon as you get to the house, you're getting your butt whooped. What does that even mean? Does that mean as soon as you get to the house? Does that mean like when you settle down? Does that mean like you're gonna watch a couple of your TV shows and then come up there? Like, I never knew exactly what it means, but I always wanted to be prepared. For those who don't know what prepared means, y'all know, like, for those who do know, you know exactly what I'm saying. You're going upstairs and you're going to pack those drawers. Pack those drawers, basically, you're putting something in between the skin of your bottom as well as your drawers, right? To kind of like lighten the blow, to kind of like absorb the swings that you're gonna get, right? But we always know that that doesn't always work, right? Sometimes it get through, and sometimes we get caught. To be honest with you, because the sound is not the same. So once they get to swinging that belt, they hear that sound and they know that you're packing your drawers, and they either make you take it out or it just get worse, and then it's just complete mayhem in there. Now you're blocking your head and your arms and all type of stuff. So, but anyway, so I went upstairs this one day. I can tell you about my last whooping. Like I went upstairs, I packed my drawers. I didn't know when she was coming up upstairs, so I packed it with just some light tissue, whatever the case may be. And so I'm waiting, but it's taking forever. It's literally taking like hours. So anyway, long story short, she caught me slipping. I'm dang near dozing off because it's getting rather late. But I remember hearing her footsteps come upstairs, and so as I pop up, so I'm getting myself ready. What I used to always do is go to like the closet to where I can like position my body and only stick out the body parts that I wanted to get hit, right? So what that means is I only sticking out my arm. You're just about to tear this arm up. I'm not getting it all across the back. I'm not getting it on the bottom side. I'm not doing all that. You're going to give what I give you, and you're going to whoop what you need to whoop, and that's it, and this is over. But I remember this time because she came upstairs and she had the belt per usual, right? And I'm just like, oh my God, I'm just so tired of this. I'm just about probably like, I don't know, 12 or 13 at this time, but I'm just sick of it. I'm fed up, right? And so what happened, she came in there, and I remember she swung like 2 times. And that was just it for me. I'm like, you know what? I had made an exact decision in my mind at 13 years old. I think it was like 12 or 13. Like, I'm done getting whippings. I remember I grabbed that belt with all my strength with the little hand that I had hanging out. It must have been probably on my left side. So I grabbed it with my left hand. So I'm squeezing that belt, and I looked my mama right in the eyes. I said, listen, Ma, I'm not taking no more whoopings. This is it for me. I'm done. I made up my mind. This is it. Number one, I just wasn't feeling that no more. I'm tired of just getting hit. Like, I don't want to go through this no more. I'm tired of this. And at that point, between the age of like 12, 13, 14, like the older people say, you start to feel yourself. Feel yourself mean you no longer feel like you're wet behind the ears. You feel like you're growing up into manhood, whatever the case. It may be different for females. I can only talk from a male's perspective, but you just start to feel yourself. So at that point, I'm just like, yeah, I'm done with this. And I remember my mom, she just like let the belt go. She wasn't trying to tuggle back and forth with me. I wasn't trying to do anything to my mom. It wasn't like I was going to do nothing crazy. I just grabbed the belt like, this is it. She probably could have in all actuality, went to go grab another belt and get to swinging, and we could have did that all day because I was grabbing that belt. But I just remember like I was done, right? And I just got tired of just that aspect of my life. It wasn't even the whoopings that hurt. It was just leading up to it. It was just like the anxiety that it put on your mind. I was almost like traumatizing. You just waiting to get popped and waiting to get whooped. I'm tired of this. Like I'm no longer living like this. So I made up in my mind. So it kind of like prompted me when I thought about it. Like how are we disciplining our children nowadays, right? Are we still like doing it like our parents did to us? Are we still doing whoopings? Is it to the point to where it depends on the child? Can everybody get it? Are we no longer doing whoopings? Like I'm just curious, right? Because I remember my older two kids too, and I look at them. So my oldest, out of all my children, is my daughter. I can count on my hand like literally how many times that I literally had to like be physical with her. I would say, in terms of disciplining her, and it was just one of those things that where I don't know, it just I probably could have did it different, but in that instance, I wasn't emotional or anything like that. I actually thought it through. You know, I always say put thought before emotion, so I thought it through. But this was just one of those situations. It just warranted like the physical activity that came behind it. So she can count on her hand. Like I wasn't that type of dad with her. And you know, with the girls with like that, I did a video. Go check it out. We tend to be more biased towards our girls anyway. So we're kind of like softies. My oldest son, truth be told, he really wasn't that type of guy. I didn't have to like spank him a lot. I didn't have to really like discipline him. I can talk to him, and he actually learned from other people's mistakes, right? So he probably saw his sister get whooped that one time, and he was just like, yeah, enough is that. I'm not playing with dad at all. But he was never that type of guy to where I had to physically disciplined with him. He wasn't the type of guy that wanted to get into a lot of mischief. He wasn't looking for like wrongdoings. It didn't fall in his lap. He didn't have those type of friends. So he just wasn't that type of guy at all. Now my younger three kids, they're a little bit different. I'll be honest with you. That last one, that little baby boy, he tends to find himself in a lot more trouble than all my other children. I'm not sure why. He's just more inquisitive, I would say. He's more adventurous, I would say. He's more an outdoorsman. Like he's more of, I like to touch stuff. I'll give you a prime example. Right before I did this video, I like to do candles during my video, right? So I just brought this brand new candle. It's like a pineapple and mango something. It just smells really good. I just like the smell of it. So I go to light it up. There's a water bottle cap grinded through the middle of it. All the wicks are broke off. Now, he's not here right now, right? So as soon as I saw it, I immediately got upset. And that, like, I'm being honest with you. Like the old Be Father Sent, like the old keys, that would have been a hands-on project for him. Because like, why would you do that? I understand you're 6 years old. I get it, but it just makes no sense. Like I don't like when my children don't think. You know what I mean? So that's always a problem for me. Like I don't like when you don't think. If you take the time to think and then you come up with a bad solution, right? I'm with that. We can talk that out. But when you just do things just like impulsively, like that's always just like, come on, man. Like you know you're doing too much. So the little guy, he's different from the rest of them. I tell you that. My youngest daughter, she really not so much. You just have to understand who she is. She has one of those mouths that are just like, come on, like you forgot who you're talking to now, right? And then the oldest out of the youngest three, he got the same little mouth. He think he's so hard. Like, I already explained in the video when I had to be his coach, like it got physical from time to time with him, but he's just that type of guy. He's just a competitor. So I understand all my children. So I would say my approach nowadays with my children is just like, it, you know, nowadays I'm just doing more talking. Like I guess the older I got, I'm just doing more talking, and it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of discipline for a father to do that. I'm gonna be honest with you, because like as if you had a child when you were younger growing up, so I had my first child when I was 18. So I think 18 all the way to about 30, I think everything was a hands-on project. But as you get older, you become more patient. I'm not sure why. It's still things that like irk me when they do it. Like I told y'all before, if they don't think, like that is a pet peeve of mine. That like warrants me want to get physical with you. Cause come on, like you have a brain, you know how to think. Um, And I think that's partially my fault when they come up with these bad resolutions of things that they're trying to do. So, I tend to take more of the onus. So hence the reason why I do less physical with them. But fathers, I'm curious to see what are you all, or how are you all disciplining your children nowadays, right? So just talk to me, leave it in the comment. Let me know what's going on. So does it depend on the child? Is it one of those things where everybody can get it? You still a hands-on project type person? Or is it one of those things that nobody gets it? I know where that stems from. We know where the beating stems from, the whooping stems from. We know that stems from slavery, right? For those who don't know, that stems from slavery. All the beating and trying to force a person's to conform to what it is, your thought process or what you want them to do. So that's just a slavery mentality. So we tend to try to like get away from it. But again, we're just a product of our environments. We do things that were done to us. It's almost like a rite of passage in a weird type of way, right? Because we got whooped, we want to whoop our kids, and some people just take it way too far. I was in a grocery store the other day. I witnessed this mom just, I don't even want to talk about it, but she basically slapped the boy face all the way into next week. I was just like, oh my God, like how can you? But anyway, I haven't seen some fathers do it too. Like that's just overly aggressive. Like I never whoop to try to like, I'm not trying to purposely hurt you or maim you or like break something. Like, I mean, it's just way too much. But I am curious to see how we're disciplining our children nowadays. And I think a lot of times, that magnifying glass, that's on us. So those of you who are not in the house with your children, right? When you get them, like, and then you return them back to mom, like they looking, they asking questions. Hey, how did it go over there? What happened? And let one of those children say, I got a whooping. It could be something they could have tried to blow up the house on purpose, and then you had to get physical with them. But just because you whooped them, you getting that phone call, and it's gonna be known that you out of order, you'll never see him again. We get all that type of stuff. But I'm just curious, how are we disciplining our children nowadays, right? I know for me, like the older I get, the more less hands-on I am. I'm just cultivating their mind at this point, right? I'm reasoning with them, like I'm giving them some baseline data of how to like articulate their thoughts, how to express themselves via words, right? And so nowadays, for me, we can do punishments. Punishments are cool, but that's punitive to me. And so taking things away, we can do that too. But if you're gonna take it away only to give it back, it just really doesn't. It has no effect for me. Like I was at the point to where I got on punishment. If you take my Atari away, whatever the case may be, I just want to know how long. So how long are we doing this? A week? I just waited out for a week. I get that right back. So it really has no lasting effect for me. All right. So that was just my little rant for today. Make sure you leave a comment down at the bottom. Ladies, you can chime in as well. Are you still whooping your child? Are you doing punishments? What are we doing nowadays? How are we disciplining our children? All right. Let me know in the comment section. Be sure to follow me on other social media platforms. I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the ones that have left a comment. I appreciate the ones that have subscribed to the video. Let's keep this narrative going, you all. I need your help. All right. Black Father Sentinel, signing off.